Today we're going to talk about the Sun Princess. We're going to have an update for Norwegian, something that you need to keep in mind for the Alaska season. Also going to talk about an unfortunate incident on the MSC Virtuosa. And Holland America is doing something in San Diego that they have never done before, and I want you to put it on your calendar if you're interested in it at all. And we are also going to talk about our day in Mykonos, how things are going on the Celebrity Silhouette. You know, I'm usually a princess girl. This is the third time that I'm going to be sailing on Celebrity, so I've got a lot to tell you about that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Saturday. It is October 12th of 2024, and I want to start at the very top. I want to get the bad news out of the way, and then we'll go on with the happy news. So the really sad news that I've got to share with you today is that the MSC Virtuosa was sailing in the English Channel as she was on her way into Southampton. At about 2 a.m. this morning, October 12th, the alarm went out that there was a passenger overboard. And so, of course, the search and rescue kicked in right away. Several different search and rescues from different areas in that whole region there responded, and they were able to recover the woman's body. They say it was a woman in her 20s who went overboard, and unfortunately she did perish. So I wanted to let you know about it so that you can keep her family in your prayers, because I'm sure this is incredibly hard for them, and hard for everyone that is on the ship too. You know, when these kind of things happen, it's really hard on everyone, and so there's a lot to think about when these unfortunate events happen. Alrighty, now for some good news. The beautiful Sun Princess did indeed sail on time as she was supposed to, and she is underway on her sailing that has media guests on board, as well as travel agents on board, as well as people from Princess on board from the corporation that are there to enjoy and celebrate the fact that their beautiful new ship has come to the United States. It's all part of what they do for the inaugural season. So you might recall she started sailing earlier this spring. She started in March sailing in Europe and has sailed there this entire season, and she just arrived in the United States on October 11th, and indeed they are underway to celebrate her arrival. So I wish, this much of me wishes that I were there. I want to get to see everything to go with that, but at the same time I am really happy to be in the Mediterranean, and wouldn't trade that either. So you just have to be happy where you are. And so we followed along. I'm following videos. I've watched Don's, and I got to see he's sharing a lot of his experience on board, and so I wish them all well and hope everyone's having a wonderful cruise. It'll be fun to hear all about it. Now, next up, I wanted to talk to you about this for a minute because it's so important. So Norwegian is historically the cruise line that cruises the latest in Alaska, and I know that when you look at the cruise fare on the bookends, you know, of the cruise season, that it is much cheaper to sail in October than it is earlier in the season. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind what the weather can often do. It can be a little bit more unpredictable and more of a chance for poor weather as the later that you get in the season. So the sailing that the Norwegian Jewel is on, she just departed from Seattle on October 10th, and she was due to be in Sitka today, and they had to miss that port due to poor weather. And so they've got one more sailing after this one, which sails on October 17th, and after that they are going to be repositioning the Jewel over to Tampa. And I know that the port there in Tampa isn't open yet due to the effects of Hurricane Milton, and so we'll kind of have to wait and see. Hopefully it will definitely be open by the time it's time for the Norwegian Jewel to arrive there in Tampa. But I thought it was just also a really good time to remember that when you book a cruise, to be aware of the differences in the seasons. Sometimes we get really beautiful weather in the fall and it'll last late, but sometimes it's much more unpredictable and not as good weather. So kind of keep that in mind when you're choosing when you would like to sail. Before I tell you what Holland America is doing for the very first time in San Diego, I'd like to invite you to please subscribe to our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and if you hit the notification bell, it will notify you every time we put out a video or every time we go live. And tomorrow, that is going to be from Santorini, Greece. Now, I've got the window open here. I hope that you can hear a little bit of the Mediterranean while I'm talking to you. So Holland America is going to bring their Alaska Cruise Expo to San Diego. It's going to be on November 9th, and anyone that wants to go is invited to go. So if you live in that region and you would like to hear a little bit more about what Holland America does in Alaska, they'll be there. They're going to be at the Sheraton San Diego Hotel and Marina is where it's located, and it's a really big deal that they're doing this because they've done this kind of expo before in Vancouver and Seattle and Phoenix. Very first time that they are doing it in San Diego. So in 2025, Holland America is going to have 6 ships sailing in Alaska, and truly Holland America and Princess are the leaders in Alaska. They do the most when it comes to the cruise tours and the whole itineraries, their whole programs for the cruises that they run in Alaska. They're absolutely the best. And so even if you don't know if you want to go on a cruise to Alaska, it might be kind of fun to go and check everything out. They're going to have a lot of things that you can taste, they say, as well as some demonstrations, things to get you a little bit more acquainted with what it's like to go on a cruise to Alaska. Like I said, November 9th, 2024. So be there. And I'll point out also that, like I said, Holland America has 6 ships sailing in Alaska for 2025, and Princess has 7. And so they have a huge presence there. So if one itinerary isn't what you want, or one ship isn't what you're looking for, they have both the large ships, the smaller ships. There's something for everyone. Now, I thought it would be kind of fun to show you what they do for Effie here on Celebrity. Princess, you might be aware that they do the little charm bracelets, and every time you go to one of their presentations, you can pick up another charm. Well, here on Celebrity, they have this little necklace thing, and this opens up, like you can see up here at the top of the paper, and you collect the little kind of little jewel things to go inside of it. So on this schedule right here, it tells you what time. So for example, today on Mykonos Day, I wasn't able to go from 6:30 to 8:30, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the FE store that was ladies night at 8 p.m. And if you go, then you get the diamond outline charm, and they've got something for every single day of the cruise. And then you collect your little charm and you put it in the little necklace here. So if I have time, like on the sea day, and I can go to that, I will go. I do notice that they're kind of at different times. So like on the sea day, it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I'll just kind of show you, but I thought it would be kind of fun because I know there's people that like to collect the charm bracelets on Princess. So this is what they do for Effie on Celebrity. And if you've cruised on Celebrity a lot, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have collected these before, or if this is a brand new thing. The 2 times that I sailed on Celebrity before, which was on the Encore, nope, that's Norwegian, oh my goodness. So it was on the Beyond and on the Reflection. They didn't pass these out, and this was just on our bed when we got back from our excursion today. And so I don't know if this is new or if this has been around for a while, so put it in the comments, okay? Now, a couple of things I've been kind of keeping track. I know this is just our 2nd day. Yesterday was embarkation. Last night we ate dinner in the main dining room, and this evening again we had dinner in the main dining room. That is the only food that I've eaten on the ship so far, except for room service. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But the main dining room food is very, very comparable to Princess. No better, no worse, very comparable to Princess after 2 dinners in the main dining room. I do like the way they do the lighting in the main dining room here on Celebrity. It's a little bit dimmed, and they have the little flameless candles on the table, and it just makes everything a little bit fancier looking. So I'm really enjoying that, just as far as ambiance goes, but the food is extraordinarily similar to what they have on Princess. I'm going to have a goal to try tomorrow we're in Santorini all day long, so I don't think I'll be trying it tomorrow, but the next day is the sea day, so I'm going to let you know about the buffet as well as some other things. Now, Celebrity is like Princess in that you can order your room service for breakfast in the morning for no charge. So they give you this paper, and you can fill out what kind of food that you want. You put your name and your cabin number, and then you just stick this outside your door in the little room number thing has got a slot on it. So you just have to put it out the door by 2 a.m. for pickup, and then you select the time slot that you want your food to be delivered, starting every half an hour increment. The earliest is 6 to 6:30 a.m. and the latest is 9 to 9:30 p.m. What they have offered is quite similar on the complimentary side, but if you want to pay for a $9.99 service fee that for room delivery, you can have fancier things. So the things that are over on the complimentary side are like, you can order the different kinds of juices and coffee, things like that. You can order fruit like you can on Princess, and then basically the same bakery items are available. You can order some yogurt if you want to, some cereal, as well as some milk. But like I said, if you want to pay the $9.99 service fee, then you can have your eggs, your omelets, and kind of order if you want like different things like sausage or ham or bacon, things like that. And so this morning we just ordered from the complimentary side and had them bring fruit and a couple of croissants and some yogurt, and it worked out just perfectly. They came right on time, brought it right in and put it on our little coffee table that's in front of the little sofa bench thing, and it worked out really nicely. So thought I would let you know about that. I know a lot of people like their coffee first thing in the morning, or they want to have their breakfast before they head out on an excursion. On Princess you can get that little breakfast sandwich, but there's nothing like that that is on the Celebrity menu unless you want to pay extra. I do know that they open up in the buffet at 6 o'clock in the morning. This evening we were talking about it at dinner, and they were the guests in our Let's Go family who went there at 6 this morning said that they didn't have very much open, like no eggs, just like some very continental. And we found out that at 6:30, another Let's Go family member knew that at 6:30 is when they open a lot more. That's when you can start getting your eggs and other breakfast items rather than just the continental breakfast things. And so I hope that helps you know a little bit about what some of the breakfast offerings are. And other than that, we are having an absolutely wonderful time. Really happy that we're here, really glad that we're visiting the Mediterranean, and it's really fun to me. It's really interesting to go on a cruise and see the difference as far as the demographics is to the different time of year that you're visiting a location, as well as a different place in the world. We have a really fun mix on board of guests from different countries. As you walk around, you hear a lot of different languages. A lot of people here from the United States as well, but it's really interesting and we're having a great time. So I have not been to any entertainment yet, but I'm going to also try that out and let you know what that looks like, okay? I have noticed that they often have some music down in, I'll just call it the piazza. It's the Grand Foyer here on Celebrity, and it's fun. I saw some people dancing early this evening when we got back from being in Mykonos, and we just had gotten back aboard about 5:40. There was a musician playing down there and just one lady dancing and having a nice time. So they do a really good job with music here on board the ship, and I will make sure that I record some and bring a little bit more of that entertainment to you. Today in Mykonos, we just ended up getting off the ship kind of late and walking around a lot in the part we were supposed to get to go to Delos. We had the Best of Mykonos, I think is what it was called, booked, and you go over to Delos and see that island, which I've spoken with you about before, that I absolutely love, and then have more tour on Mykonos. But fortunately, I had a really bad headache, so we couldn't go, and so we ended up going into town much later. When we were anchored here, and so we took the water shuttle, which the water shuttles were supplied by local boat owners. They have that all set up, and so they took us over to the port area where you catch the sea bus. You have to pay €2 per person each direction, so plan on €4 round trip. They made a couple of stops as they took us clear over to the main area there for the boats where they drop you off, where you can just walk around the main area of Mykonos. So we walked around, looked at some shops, had some yummy lunch, went and saw the windmills, and just thoroughly enjoyed our day. So we'll include a little bit. Let me know what questions you've got about Mykonos, and I'm happy to answer them in the comments. And I look forward to reading your comments. Let me know what your questions are about celebrity and about cruising. So thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.